Hello all! Welcome back to Actual Play Band of Blades. This is Mission 5. We're in deep right now. Things did not go well last time. We need to pull through. I am Sean Nittner. I use he, him pronouns, and I am very excited for like 1,000 free play scenes to deal with the fallout of last time, but also very excited to go on the mission to get Crimson Rising Tide back. So, yes, so many things. I want to do them all. Misha, how about you?
Hi, Misha B. Just back from Camp Nerdly, where we had fun in the woods and get ticks. So hey, life's good.
Yikes.
How about you, Strash?
Hey, I'm Strash, he, him. I'm also one of the casters here in Actual Play. I am excited to play out this episode of Saving Private Rising.
No.
What about you, Jen?
I'm Jen Martin. I use she, her pronouns. I'm just real excited to be hanging out with you guys and playing again because we missed last week. And so, yeah, what about you, Jay?
I am Jay. I use he, him. I think someone should send help. We need some help. Let's do this. I'm ready to do this.
Right, we're doing it. Boom.
Okay,
There's the
so
map.
I believe that last time we finished both the primary and the secondary missions, and we applied all of the appropriate mission penalties, but we haven't gone through all of the appropriate additional steps. So usually when this happens, we check and see with our Lord Keeper if there will be a tale told, and I believe that because the secondary mission was such a disaster, just to refresh everyone's memories, they actually saw Blighter herself, who asked, "Where is her goddamn hammer?" So she had two people dragging wounded back to camp. So yeah, lots of people died. Jen, I think you have a story coming up. Do you want to regale us with a tale, Lord Keeper?
I do. Also, I will say that the ones that died were Rookie Verdant Vexing Vale, Rookie Natano Vlasovic, and Rookie Harish Gupt.
All proud members of the Lions, the Shattered Lions.
Oof.
So this is the tale of the Legion's independence. After the old empire fell, the Legion became sellswords that hired out to causes they believed in. So the Legion's original charter, I had a better tale written and then I left it at work. So this is just from memory. The Legion's original charter is actually stored, it's been sort of broken up, and scraps of it are in each of the annals, right? This like deputizes a book effectively. My Lord Keeper has an official scrap of the charter. Bad pun, I maintain, bad pun. So the section of the original charter that's in my book is the answer to the next question, which is what unusual restriction is placed on legionnaires. And the piece of the charter that I have says that no one eats alone. Commanders aren't allowed to eat alone. Nobody, I mean, like within reason, right? Like if there's not other humans around you, like you don't have to go hungry. But in the history of the Legion, the way that this is borne out, like it started with as a rule to like keep commanders from getting like too big of a head and like separating themselves from squads and whatnot. But it's become a thing that pretty much everybody holds to. And I have the little scrap of paper in my annals that says no one eats alone, and it's kind of neat. And then what cause may have the Legion taken up previously? I think after, because we established that they were formed to kill a chosen, right?
Yeah.
And the Legion lasted for 140 some odd years until a chosen killed the Emperor. And I think after that, we actually spent some time like guarding and helping people on pilgrimages to go to temples to become chosen. And this was sort of like a balancing of the scales, right? Like we killed a chosen. It's in the annals, like how to do it, where it's stored, all that good stuff. And after that, it was like, well, we could go like hyper military fighting force, or like we could actually think about what we want to do. So I think they've kind of done like a mishmash of things. Like they've been sort of labor for hire, they've been swords for hire, like et cetera and so forth. But I think the thing that we did right after we were shattered was pilgrimage protection. So that's what I got.
That's
and I
pretty
think,
cool.
yeah, we are going to pick the effect this has on the Legion, me telling this tale, is that soldiers work extra shifts. So we're going to add 3 ticks to a long-term project.
Yeah, and I think the long-term project we're going to do, which is very appropriate, is the rehabilitation of the soldiers that we picked up on the Western Front.
Mm-hmm.
So, Strash, if you don't mind putting on a 4-tick clock called Rehabilitation of the Soldiers, and throw 3 ticks on it. And I'm going to update the quartermaster sheet as well at the same time.
All right, Sean. I made a soldier rehab clock for you.
Thank you much. And I've updated my sheet. So we just have back up there. Soldier rehab. Perfect. And I think that's displaying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, everybody can see it. Cool. I think that's very fitting. Help these folks regain their, they eat with us, right?
Yep.
And I'm imagining that's got to be it, right? These people that were soldiers, and then they were just too shaken up by the atrocities at the Battle of Etten Fields, and now they're coming back around.
All right. Looking at my mission phase summary, I believe we do back at camp scenes next.
Cool.
Tag me in again.
Tag.
Oh, this is where you shine. You shine at the start.
Yeah.
All right. I think I am going to go for a squad refuses to go on the field until their captain is replaced.
Which squad is that?
Yeah, I just have to decide which squad it is. We have, oh my God, all these squads are like part full. It's so sad.
Right. There's not too many squads. There's the Star Vipers. There's the Ember Wolves.
It's the Lions, the Stags, the Ghost Owls. Those are all, or the Shattered Lions, the Ghost Owls, and the Silver Stags have dead. They are incomplete and would not have a captain probably.
Right.
Yeah. So that kind of takes on a different sort of fictional tone, right? Or maybe you tell me if it's just not allowed. If the word replaced here means it has to change to a different human, or if replaced can just be like, hey, we're literally led by nobody, got to do something about that before we can go out.
You are the lore keeper, and I will totally cede this to your narrative and perception of the Legion. This is not actually my job as GM.
Yeah.
Cool.
Either.
I think I like where you're going, Jen.
Yeah. So I think I am going to pick one of the partial squads because do we have any squads who have very strong feelings about was it the the head of the grinning ravens that went to the commander and was like, hey, why didn't you give us Star Vipers?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they went on a mission last time. One of them was somewhat badly injured, but most of them made it back and they accomplished the mission.
Yeah. Do we have, does anyone in like the Silver Stags have like ties to the Star Vipers?
You tell us.
Cool. What I actually think happened is like rumor got around about the leader of the Star Vipers. Who was the one that talked? Landgrave Canonia. That's right.
Yeah.
She talked to the commander and was basically like, listen, that should have been ours. And then they got sent on the very next mission.
Yep. She talked to the Marshal.
Marshal, that's right. So I think someone, who is Ochre Shifting Sands? Are they just a rookie? They're just a rookie.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Everyone in the Stags are just
They're all rookies.
I don't think only the Ravens have soldiers right now.
Cool. I changed my mind. So Graf Zardani is the one who goes to the marshal and kind of it's a pale imitation of Canonia, right? That's like he goes to the marshal to demand a leader, but he's not like, you know, they're a partial squad. They're not doing great. I don't know if he's got harm. It doesn't look like he has harm, but
You can make it up. You can say he was hurt in the last like defensive camp or something.
Yeah, I don't necessarily need him to be like physically harmed. I think it's enough that 2 of his squad are gone, and somebody from the Star Vipers like did this big sort of land grab, right, and got it, and now he's trying to do that, but he doesn't have the same. He doesn't. He's a rookie, right? And he's just like, So I think Misha needs to play the marshal, obviously.
Fair.
And I think I'm interested in Sean playing Graf.
Sure.
Making this demand.
But just to be clear, Graf's demand is that somebody else join the Silver Stags to become captain of the Stags, or that the Stags get 2 more people so that we can go out. Like what's the specific demand that Graf is going for in this case?
That's a good question. I think he is demanding he's demanding a full squad, and I kind of think he's implying he should be the captain.
Yeah, cool. I dig it.
Hell yeah.
I dig it.
I like this kid's grit.
Yeah,
Nice.
Well, that's one of us.
cool. Anybody else in the scene?
I think I am gonna play Ochre Shifting Sands because I like that name. I don't know if this is what pronouns this person uses.
I don't think we specified yet. So
nope, it's not specified. So
If it's not in the notes, you get to make it up.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm not gonna worry about it right now. I'm gonna let that come out.
Sure.
So I think I'm kind of backing you up, Graf, but like as the way a scared rookie would.
Yeah. So I think.
Does the whole squad show up?
Oh, well, yeah, the whole squad being 3 people. Sure.
Yeah. I mean,
Jay,
the
you want
squad's
to play Arun?
Yeah, sure.
Arun, yeah. Perfect. Awesome. So Graf sits down with the marshal during dinner because we have established that nobody eats alone and that everybody eats together. And so Graf like puts his, his platter down and sits down next to Marshall and like eats a couple bites and then kind of looks over the Marshall and says, things seem pretty grim right now, Marshall.
it's been better.
Yeah. Kind of looks over the rest of Aaron and Ochre and says, everybody help me for a second. Which mission did the Silver Stags go on that they succeeded at? Because they succeeded. That's why I think it was when they
literally rescued the commander.
They literally rescued the commander.
Yeah, they were on the first mission, mission 1, where the commander was in danger.
Yes. Awesome. Perfect. Thank you. And I think they went on the next mission and won at that. No, not that. Anyway, it's fine. Yeah, it's going to take, it's not going to be easy going ahead. I've heard we've been cut off in the east. Blighters got some monster. It's scary times and we need strong leaders. But,
Waiting for him to get to the point.
I kind
of elbow him, like, keep going.
All right, well, I'll just get to it. My squad, and he says my as though it's his, my squad, the squad who rescued our commander, saved her from being not only possibly killed, but interrogated by the
tentacle thing.
interrogated by the Broken, my squad can't go in the field right now because we've died in the line of duty. And I want you to make that right. The Shattered Lions are supposed to be the bravest. Squad out there, and they fell. What's left of them, they need to do something. They should join us. Take the 2 Shattered Lions, they're left, put them under me, and I'll go to victory. We'll fight that serpent. We'll give them justice.
And what makes you so qualified to lead other than bravado?
Success.
Were not the other members of your team also on this mission? Did they not share in the success?
Ochre, Arun, you want to lead?
No, I think you're doing fine. I think you're good.
This was your idea, Graf. Like we're totally behind you.
Yeah, no, I'm with Graf.
Ah, so you're the only one, we'll say, brave enough to speak up.
Isn't bravery a virtue, especially when in the face of the Broken?
There's a difference between bravery and bravado.
How do you tell?
Usually there's a line. You might be crossing it.
I guess you never know until you do it, though.
Let's just say your demands will be considered.
It's not good enough.
Excuse me?
I think you understood.
He said that wasn't good enough.
She sets her knife and fork down.
It's your call, but I want an answer. If you say no, I'll take it, but I want to be told to my face.
The last time you went out, you came back smaller. I don't think you're ready to go back out again. When I think you are, I'll send you back out.
So I'll take that as a no.
For now.
I'm not hungry anymore.
Your choice.
Graf gets up. Leaves his plate.
Police your mess!
Nice. Is that what you wanted, Jen?
That was great. That was so perfect.
Oh my God, all the popcorn.
Thank you, Misha.
You're welcome.
Misha, as the marshal, is just chef kiss.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I know. Well,
I have
you
children.
got to deal with all this, bravado, as you said it.
Yeah, I've got kids. I'm used to this.
Yeah.
Nice.
Don't show weakness. It's not a good plan. I'm sorry, you said what?
You won't what?
You want what now?
Awesome.
And that's how you
This
ask nicely.
is perfect because I want a free play scene with Zayanova talking to the marshal. So
Was Zayanova talking to the marshal?
yeah,
The officer.
yeah,
Yeah.
Officer Zayanova.
Okay.
I mean, we don't have to do it this moment, but whenever we get to the free play scenes,
I think we can totally do some free play scenes if you folks don't want to jump into campaign actions right away.
I 100% want to see Zayanova sit down after Graf gets up.
Okay, hold on 2 seconds. I realize that I've made a mistake. I'll be right back.
Oh, Sean has to go get his cap.
Mm-hmm,
Yes,
mm-hmm.
yes,
Cool. So we will let's do a quick thing while Sean is getting his cap. Jay, the next scene is technically time passes, which means that Sean needs to mark off 1 food, and Jay, you need to add 1 time to the clock.
Right.
All right, I am marking off food. We are doing okay on food because we just restocked.
Let's have that scene with Zayanova and the marshal.
All right. Okay.
Just pick your knife and fork back up.
Yeah. She just fixed her knife and fork back up. And Zayanova sits down across from her. Marshall, Can I bend your ear for a moment?
Sure, Sergeant. It seems my meal is doomed to go cold.
I can wait.
Go ahead.
Can I just ask real quick, what nationality is the marshal?
The marshal is also all right. Or is all right, yeah.
Okay,
so.
cool. Carry on.
I served with the Lions. I was in the 51st, back when there was a 51st. And I knew all of them. And while we were out finding a man in the hills, which was very important, my brothers and sisters were dying because of the blighter. And I would very much like a chance to bloody her nose for what she's done to the people I love.
Unfortunately, it's not my call which missions get going on. But if the commander chooses to attack Blighter, I will see what I can do to make sure you're on that squad.
Well, that is your call.
If that's the mission chosen, yes.
Thank you, Marshall. And Zayanova gets up and she hasn't eaten anything off her plate. She takes it with her, but she was clearly.
She looks around to see if anybody else is going to interrupt.
Does anybody else have something to say?
Nobody looks like they're sitting down, so she finishes eating her meal.
Nice. Cool. I have a quick free play scene if everyone's okay with that.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, go for it.
It doesn't involve the marshal.
Amazing.
There is a moment where it's like the ass crack of dawn, right? And some rookie goes tearing through camp yelling about, some shit going down. And what he's talking about is the fact that Zora seems to have woken up and she is starting to plant weapons in the middle of the training field. So she hammers a spear down, then sets a sword down, and then sets down like she literally just drops them and they stick in the ground, right? Because she drops them in. And then she just stands behind him and crosses her arms like she's waiting for somebody to pick a weapon up.
This is Zora's version of getting everybody in shape.
Gray wafting smoke leans over. What are we supposed to do? I'm not gonna fight her. What are you, stupid?
Landgrave Canonia is she said she liked Voyus, that they used to be on par with each other. Maybe we send the new guy.
Nice.
We all look at Voyus.
So,
does somebody want to play Voyus or a different character that wants to take up Zora's little challenge there?
What does Zora look like?
She is got pale blonde hair.
Mm-hmm.
She's pale skinned.
Right.
Her eyes are a weird sort of. Most of the time she has green eyes, but when her power is ignited, they're a shimmering, flaming gold.
Right.
She's wearing her armor. So she's got this silver armor on, and she's about 5'8", 9-ish.
All right.
If you saw her and she didn't, the thing is when she stands behind those weapons, she looks more real than the world.
Right.
There's a sharpness to her and a weight and a gravitas that is difficult to explain in a picture, in an image. But if you took away that, she could pass as a well-equipped warrior most places and nobody would look at her twice. She's not particularly fantastical in any other regard. The only thing that distinguishes her from most of you or warriors is the fact that she doesn't seem to have any scars.
Okay. Matali steps forward.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh, Zora grins big.
Yes.
Zora grins big.
Yeah. She's tough sword. In a defiant kind of way.
She gestures at the weapons and anything else that he's. What does he look like? Is he in armor and stuff? Is he like, yeah, all right, let's go?
Yeah, I think as everyone else is around and this is happening, maybe he saw it happening, put his armor on, and then came out
Awesome.
through the crowd to meet this challenge.
So I think does he show up with his own? I think he carries a warhammer, right, or like a maul or something, like a mace.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
It's a hammer. It's a big hammer.
Does he bring that, or does he take one of the weapons?
No, he brings his hammer.
Awesome.
Yes.
I think Zora just like walks around the line and then doesn't seem to have a reason for this. She just like reaches down and plucks up the spear and does one of those like cool twirly, I know how to use spears in cool ways moves. That's real impressive looking.
Right.
Imagine an impressive spear maneuver. All right.
Come on, it spins around.
Oh yeah. But like she's not igniting her crown. There is no flames. She just seems to take up a position with the spear. Do you want to tango with Zora?
He with his hammer, he stretches his arms out like that, hammer in one arm and his open hand in the other, and he's like, "So what? You're not human."
She smiles and she says, "The Legion doesn't only fight humans." And then she comes right at you. Cool. Do you want to roll some dice and roll 20? Let's do a fortune roll and see how this goes.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's such a great idea that he get hurt before we even go out on a mission.
Yeah, I know, right? This is
I don't think it's it's not gonna come to that. I don't think it will.
Well, and Matali wants to know, right?
Yeah. So you can feel free to roll your skirmish. She just rolled 4 dice because that's her current threat level.
Okay.
And she got a 5. So go ahead and roll off.
I think around the field, like there's like that clap of like sword on shield.
Yeah, like set a rhythm.
Yeah.
Looks like I have a 4.
Okay, so both of you do something and both of you don't win. So I think that there is like a moment where like she's fighting like lightning quick and you're doing your heavy thing and so on and so forth until there's a moment where she like goes for a killing strike. Right. And you like break her spear in half with your hammer, and she just like dances back and then like kicks up the next weapon and grabs the sword. You want to go one more round?
Yes.
All right, awesome.
Can I? So there's one weapon left, right?
Yeah.
So can I hammer that down so it's harder to pull out?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, nice.
And then yes, I'm in for another round.
All right. She gets another 5.
Hang on, I lost my screen. There it is. Oh no, that's the wrong guy. Too many screens. Did I close him out already?
You can just log back into Roll20 if you need to.
I'd offer to roll for you, Jay, but this is a precious thing.
Yeah, I don't want to mess with that. Bad juju and all that. You don't play with another man's dice.
All right, here we go.
Ooh,
suspense.
Ooh. Oh, that's a complete miss. But I think that there is probably a moment where you like she does like a cool maneuver with the sword, right? That and you tried the same move where you like disarm or smash the weapon, right? But she maneuvers around it and puts the sword to your throat. And now I have to ask a question: is Matali a weapons master?
Is that something I'm going to find on Matali's sheet?
Yeah, it's a power. It's a power that heavies can have.
It might say Vanguard, but it's now.
It's become Weapon Master. Yeah, but it used to be called Vanguard, so you can check it.
He's a war machine.
Yeah.
He's not a weapons. Yeah, he's not a weapons master.
So I think that she stops with the sword at your neck, and she says, "Why did I win?"
Because you're not human.
No. I did not use any strength granted by my father. I did not take any strength from any other. I fought with you as if I were flesh and blood.
But you're not
And then-
flesh and blood.
So why don't you become not flesh and blood? And she like grins.
Oh shit.
Oh damn.
She taps her sword against your forehead
Right.
and then just says, tomorrow at dawn. And then she turns around, walks back, and sinks that sword into the ground next to the weapon that you tapped. That's it.
What's tomorrow at dawn?
I think it's more training. I think it's
Again.
exactly Morpheus saying again.
All right, that's it for my scene. If anybody else wants any more free play scenes, knock them out of the park, folks.
I have one, but I already did one, so I will wait to see if there's anyone else who.
I relinquish. Sean can have mine because I don't have one. So
Nisha or Jay, do you have any?
I've already been in 2, so.
Yeah, all right. Okay, well, I'm going to play Matali this time.
Oh.
And I want someone to play Voyas,
The
I'll do it.
Kingfisher Knight.
the Kingfisher Knight.
I'll do it. I'll
Jay,
play
you'll play
voice.
Voyas? Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So I think Matali is going to find Voyas in like a tent that we provisioned him, because I think even though like as sort of part of the recuperation, we're giving him a little bit of like alone,
Right.
a little time. I mean, he's going to have to join everybody eventually, but right now we've sort of still given him a little time to kind of get acclimated.
Right.
And Motali is like kicking at the tent flap because his hands are full, and he's like, hey, a little help. And he's trying to like kick the tent flap open with his leg, and asking Voyas to, sort of let him in.
There's a pause, and then Voyas finally says, "Enter."
You could make this easier. And so Motali just sort of like barrels in rhino style with his head. He just sort of uses his head to cleave between the tent flaps and just like pushes himself in. And you could see in his arms that were both full, which is why he couldn't do it. And like one hand, he's got like 2 steins that like he's holding, and they're sloshing something. And the other, he's got like a basket that's it's got a bunch of jars in it.
Basket.
Okay.
It looks like a picnic basket, but it's not food. And he kind of like pushes himself in there. And if we remember, Motali has the multicolored braided beard, and he says, and Voyas, Strash, tell me if I'm right. Voyas is like really gaunt, and his hair has gone completely white.
Right.
Yep.
Right. Completely white.
Yeah. So Motali kind of like he like sort of like gets to a table and like sets the steins down on them, and some frothy liquid sloshes out. He looks at Motali and looks at Voyas and says, old man, I can't help you with your problems with the dead, but I can teach you how to live again. And sets the kit on, and it's a bunch of dyes it's a bunch of different dyes to dye his hair.
Makeup burn!
That's so good.
We're getting a makeover sequence!
Makeover night.
Nice.
So
So I had pictured, because I'm looking over Voyas's sheet now, and my thought was he was in the process of getting ready to shave, right? And kind of get his hair back in some semblance of order. But now that he sees what's happening here, I think maybe he puts down his blade and he's going to try something different. So it is a makeup party.
nice.
Yay!
That bleached white hair is gonna take dye like nothing, man. It's gonna be vibrant.
I'm gonna ask you, do you have an idea for the vibrancy, or do you dye it with the black and bright blue that his armor is done in?
Oh, that's
Because he's a
cool.
kingfisher, right? Like he actually has like this brilliant cerulean blue with like the like tips done like in a couple of places, but
Right.
his armor is mostly black.
Yeah.
If you Google kingfisher birds, there's like 1,000 varieties, but there's a very specific one I was thinking of, and it's black with like
I think
blue
that's
in the wings.
I think that's super cool. Black and I mean I think I might offset it. It might be mostly blue with a little black, so it's sort of the juxtaposes the armor or you know. But also I think when it's all said and done, there is a gold. One of the braids has like a gold band that Matali gives him. This is
as a token?
As a token, yeah.
A Barton token?
I was just going to say Matali's Barton.
Yeah.
Nice, yeah.
And kind of like ties it in like real carefully. And by the end of this, Matali's hands are just black and blue, covered in ink, right? Like it's a mess. But that's okay. He's used to doing this. This is
right.
Yeah, and then there's this band in his beard.
Nice.
Makeover night. Cool. That was it for me. That's all I wanted.
I love you.
If nobody has any other free play scenes they're interested in, we should do campaign actions.
Sure. All right, Marshall. What's our morale right now?
Our morale is currently 5.
All right, that puts us at 1 campaign action. I know. Thanks, Josh. This is your game.
5.
Yeah. All right, that gives us 1 campaign action. I'm going to spend it sending. We'll send our new Jen. I'd like you to play Zino Voyas this time. You don't have to play it, but Quartermaster's going to send another Zemyati. This time, he's like, last time I sent my officer, she didn't do so great. This time I'm sending in a local hero. He's a big damn hero. People are going to give him a bunch of horses. Quartermaster's always thinking, like, how can I maximize what I'm going to get? He doesn't care about like anything else other than like what will be the most efficient thing I can get out of this. So yeah, he's like, you're a big damn hero. Go get us some horses for the road. And so John, I'm going to ask you to make a roll, an acquire asset roll. And it's normally 2 dice in Plainsworth, but as we learned last time, Plainsworth is the breadbasket of Aldermark, and it's you get 2 bonus dice to acquire horses and food. So hopefully you bring us home a bunch of horses.
This is what kind of roll is this?
It's like a 40.
It's a fortune
roll. Yeah.
Okay. 40 fortune. There's no way this goes poorly.
I mean,
don't say that.
Well, you get yourself a brace of horses, Sean. That's fine.
It's exactly what is expected. We get a brace of horses, right? If it had been higher, we would have gotten more, but all good. And my second action, which the quartermaster like very much does not like doing, but he's gonna break open some of the Aldermark spirits that we had recovered before one of the supply carts that we were bringing back before the battle. After we won the Battle of Fields, this is what was going to get broken out. Yeah, that didn't.
Yeah.
So we spend some of the we spend 1 supply on a second campaign action, and we're going to take Liberty. So everybody clears 3 stress, and Marshall, we gain 2 morale.
Woot.
That's good, because the medic was completely stressed.
I know. So that we don't duplicate, do people want to do certain ones? Or if you want, I can go through and do them all. I just want to make sure we're not.
I just did Ria.
Okay.
I love that people have their favorite characters. Like, I want to clear this one.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I just want to make sure that cool.
In the physical game, when I run it at home, usually we just handle the sheets of the marshal and just do one quick pass. But this is it entertains me nonetheless. All right, Sean, do you know what clocks you're working on?
Yes, I have I have 3 laborers effectively. I have the Hammer of Matiar. The Hammer of Matiar is going to finish off that snake killing scorpion.
Awesome.
so that we have that ready. So that's going to get its 4th tick, or its 3rd tick out of 3. And then both the laborers and our Orite clock and our both sets of our laborers are going to work on a still. So we're going to put, it's a 4 tick clock, and we're going to put 2 ticks on that. So the next time we do Liberty, it's going to be even better. And I think the way that happens is like when we break out the good stuff and it's Zamyati brew, I think we get the attention of the clockmaker and his daughter of like, oh, that's a thing you have. We could do that better. And this is precious. Oh yeah, we know how to do that. These clockwork engines can do more than just shoot.
Inter-engine fermentation.
Yes, exactly.
Remember that it still also creates hard liquor, right? Because it's not just beer, because you can make that in a barrel.
No, exactly right. Like that's the intent. Is that like we're breaking out the hard liquor, but it's our last bit, and they're like, oh no, we can make more of that, right?
Okay.
Because usually, it's just barley ale kind of stuff is the standard fare. Okay, so I'm marking off. I'm going to go ahead and mark off all the stuff on. You've given me.
I already did all the stress. So
you did all the stress. Okay, great. Then I'm just going to modify the quartermaster. I'm going to mark my supply down by 1, and I'm going to. Marshall, did you also raise the? Did you also raise the morale?
I did.
Cool. Thank you. Then I am done with campaign actions.
All right, cool. So at the end of campaign actions, we look at the commander and we say, does the Legion advance? Now, for those of you paying careful attention to the map, you already know the answer to this. But it's a ritual. We should do the ritual.
No, we should do the ritual.
I don't remember what I answered. What did I answer? I don't know.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's not the marshal. It's the commander. Did I say marshal? My bad.
I thought we advanced, didn't we?
You did.
Yeah.
Well, you said yes, but that doesn't actually happen yet.
Okay. Yes.
We talked about it between sessions.
Doesn't happen until we do it on screen.
Yes.
So commander, you get -1 pressure because Zora is the start of the dawn and she leads the Legion, murderizing some undead on the way. But you still do have to roll pressure to convert into time. And actually, when time ticked up, we forgot to also increase pressure by 1.
All right.
So I'm gonna do that right now. So technically, unless horses are spent, you're going to be rolling 3 dice right now.
I thought we raised pressure, but maybe we raised pressure as a result of the mission.
It's when time passes, time ticks up by 1 and pressure gains 1.
Yeah.
Right. Now we moved time up 1. I didn't move pressure up.
Okay. All right. I thought we were all right. I forgot about that. So I was like, well, Zora will bring us down to 2 dice, but she's only bringing us down to 3.
Yep.
I'm not giving you any horses unless you ask for them, Commander. I just got these, and I think we're gonna need them for the road. But if you want them, you come let me know.
You come let me know.
I feel like tonight is the night of just eating bad rolls and moving on, rather than throwing every resource we have at it.
No. That's fair. I will start
3
with
dice
the bad
is super
roll.
risky. Well, here's the question, Jay. Do you want to go and ask for horses, or are you gonna throw 3 dice and leave this a chance?
I'm gonna throw 3 dice.
Holy shit! All right, let's see it.
Keep rolling bad. We're good.
All right, here we go. 3 dice.
Whew.
All right.
2 ticks.
I mean, if you look at the dice rolls, if you'd rolled 2, would have been the same. So
you can spend multiple horses.
Yeah.
So that is an option. I am going to create a new time clock for you.
Yeah. So time fills up, right? That was only 2 ticks left.
So Jay, sorry, you're technically supposed to do this, but I'll just, since I'm already here.
Okay.
I don't think we have
I will say
access to change the values.
Jay does.
I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So the first time clock fills, which means that summer shifts to fall.
Okay.
And as you folks are traversing the hundreds of miles of long road, grasses, turn golden. Some hints of cold and frost appear on the air. Rains will start to come more regularly. And also, all of the Broken gain a new power. Yay!
And we get more food.
Not yay.
You do. You do. The radishes appear. You get one full giant pile of food.
Yes. I'm marking it down.
It's actually pretty funny. There is probably a moment when, food is short and people are munching on some radishes gratefully. The quartermaster, what are you doing in this moment? Are you like,
I think
radishes?
I think this is the first time that like they've yielded anything, and so the quartermaster he's with the laborers, and I'm putting it on the sheet right now. He's with the laborers, and literally they literally just like pull one out of the dirt, right, out of the soil that they've been trucking around, and he like brushes it off, and you should wash it and all this stuff, but he's like, I want to see the fruits of our work, right? And so he just like dusts it off and he takes a big old bite. Like raw radishes are pretty bitter, but he's just like, and dirt and whatever, doesn't care. He's like, like this is for him. It's like proof of like, there's no chosen, no gods. This is just human tenacity and ingenuity. And he's just like, so he doesn't care that it's bitter. He's just like, gonna eat it, or at least I'm gonna eat this bite of it.
Right, I'm gonna eat this bite.
Yeah, let me eat this bite. And then, and then also I think that's his test that they're ready, right? I mean, radishes don't get ripe per se, but it's big enough, it's hardy enough. We can start harvesting them. So yeah,
I think there's probably a moment when you hear a voice behind you, and it's obviously Zora.
Uh-huh.
And she says, I have been on battlefields for hundreds of years, and yet I still do not fail to be surprised.
He looks and he's like, we spit some dirt out. He's like, and you said farmers didn't win wars.
I was just going to say that.
I think she smiles and puts a hand on your shoulder and she says, you may very well be the first one. And then she just walks off.
Nice.
I
love it.
He likes you.
He likes me.
All right. So this is where usually I would ask the commander for mission priorities, but as those of you to type !mission in the chat will know, we've already rolled up missions and we already know priorities, which was assault missions. And hilariously, I rolled 2 assault missions and 1 recon mission, and I presented them to everybody expecting them to go hog wild on the assault missions because, as you've seen, their morale is very bad. I believe this is where I asked Commander, will you tell us what 2 missions will go on, which one will be primary and which one will be secondary?
Recon is the primary mission, and we have Assault as our secondary mission.
Yeah, and that is Operation Black Phoenix.
Right.
Is the primary.
That's
and
the
the
Recon.
Assault one, there's 2 different ones. I think the Assault one that we're doing is
Emerald Hunt.
Yeah.
Right, Emerald Hunt.
The one where we go and punch the blighter in the face and try and kill that big old serpent she has. With our big old serpent killing crossbow.
It's going to be so great. All right. So before we get to the secondary mission with serpent killing crossbows, I have to ask. So just to tell everybody about the mission that we're going on, it's called Operation Black Phoenix. So as you recall from last time, when the Recon Mission was sent out into the Eastern Forests, Blighter herself put the squad in front of her, killed a bunch of them in front of their friends, and then sent a couple of people to drag some people back. And the 2 people that were on that mission were the sniper and the scout, who are the people that usually scout out the routes and do the recon missions and that kind of stuff, which means that the Legion was down their standards. So one of our enterprising rookies, one Crimson Rising Tide, volunteered from the Grinning Ravens. And as he did in the last mission and the mission before that, always claiming that, he's fast enough and smart enough and scouty enough and he gets spotted every time. And so with absolutely no shock to anybody, He sets off flares saying, oh shit, I'm in trouble. Please come and help. And for some reason, the Legion is going to deploy troops to go and save Crimson Rising Tide.
Because he's just
one of ours.
He's just a kid.
He is just a kid.
We can't let him die.
You can't let him die.
Stupid.
Think about all the XP we can get protecting him.
It's true. Marshall, which troops are sent on this mission?
So the Grinning Ravens are going to go and retrieve their wayward member with Indigo Striking Iron from the Ghost Owls, filling in a position as a fellow Panyar and hoping that maybe we can. They're from the same town, so he's got like a relationship going with Crimson. So we're gonna
nice.
Oh,
that's great.
There's no way this is gonna end with our
No,
feelings
it's
hurt,
gonna
you
be
guys.
horribly. It's gonna end horribly. It's fine.
This is gonna be amazing. Cool. I'm gonna ask you two more things, and then we'll switch to the commander and let the commander ask some intel questions here.
Yes.
Who are the specialists sent on this mission, Misha?
Sure, we'll send the heavies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe you need
Matali?
one heavy for a secondary assault mission, if I'm not wrong. Are you
We
sending?
figured out we could send the medic on
Yeah,
this.
we were sending the medic. On
Oh, okay. So you're sending both heavies.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. So
On the recon mission.
Really,
on a recon mission. This is amazing.
Yeah, this is how we're going to solve this recon mission. 2 heavies, 2 soldiers, 3 rookies.
Sometimes that's what it takes, right? And then, of course, because there is no officer on this mission, I have to ask, who is in charge?
Oh, that's an excellent question.
Gotta be Matali.
Or Voyus. I mean, it could be either of them.
I was thinking
Voyus
Voyus.
is
Just came to
sworn,
us.
but he has never been deployed with the Legion yet. If you give him command, it's doable, but it's
That's fair.
Yet, so it's got to be Matali.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
He's been in the Legion, it's going to be better for morale if one of them.
I mean, alternately, it's also not unheard of to put the squad captain in charge, and then the
Well, that would be possible if the squad captain hadn't got himself kidnapped.
Oh,
oh shit! Is Crimson now the squad captain? He's just a rookie. There's 2 soldiers in the squad. Holy shit! Okay.
Had he not? No,
all right.
Never mind.
Oh no, you can declare what you want. You're the marshal.
Yeah,
I mean, they all started as rookies,
I feel like, wasn't it?
Yeah, we have. Oh, actually, Flavia, I think is the.
Okay.
Yeah, I
That's
think
right.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
move her up.
she's the butcher, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
A butcher. I love that she's got a nickname now. All right,
No,
cool.
that's what she was.
So, Jay, as the commander, you have how many intel do you have? I think you have 1. Am I right?
have 1. Yes.
Awesome. So you get 2 questions. You get a 0 intel question and a 1 intel question, which there's a handy handout now.
Handy
Yes.
handout. I'll pull that up.
What's the highest threat we can expect on this mission?
4.
The recon mission.
Oh.
Great.
Next question.
Great.
No doubt.
So there's a right. So like the thing is that you have the last of the notes from Blighter, right?
Right.
And you notice that Blighter is deploying a lieutenant to control the town. Now, you're not 100% sure that you need to face her, but she may appear. You never know.
Okay.
Right. But we're also sending 2 heavies to go in. So it's not like we're going for subtlety here.
No, it's cool.
Subtle of what you speak.
What's useful to bring on this mission?
Wow. Lenses, so that you've got, long range scouting capability. You don't have any, but like stuff that will like any sort of like cleansing agent, extra water to wash off chemicals, antitoxins or med kits should be high priority because they're supposed to be survivors and casualties, that kind of stuff.
Okay. That's it.
All right, let's do this.
Cool. Marshall, who is playing who? We got all the grinning ravens and the specialists.
We'll let Jay play Matali. I'll take Ignacio. Chevalier Ignacio.
Chevalier. Yes,
Because
nice.
that's a fun name to say.
Cool.
Sean, you want to be Voyus?
Sure. I'll totally play Voyus. It means unless you've made him, that means I get to make him.
I do not believe I have made him.
Okay,
I'll
cool.
have fun with that.
I'm gonna make Voyus. I'll do it on the
and
stream so you can
Jen.
see.
Nice.
Are you feeling Zumyati or Panyar today?
I don't have strong feelings.
Do you want to play what was it? Indigo Striking Iron?
I can. Indigo.
She's in the
Ghost House.
Ghost House, yes.
Yep.
But she's
I will
coming
play
along for
her.
the ride. Yep.
Cool.
So we have a full squad. Because otherwise, the Ravens can go and retrieve their own.
Do I need to do anything with this sheet?
Yeah, it hasn't been filled out yet.
Okay. How many dots do I get?
7.
For rookie?
No.
Well, I mean, the when you're done, there should be 7.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. So it's 4.
4. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm filling out Voyus. If you're on stream right now and watching, Voyus gets normally 4 like everybody else, but he was an advanced thing, so he gets 2 more. Somebody adding 6. So if there's anyone who's like, and he can go up to 3. So I'm putting 3 in skirmish because I can.
Because I can.
And I feel like Strash, the way you've described him, I feel like Marshall and Maneuver both make sense for Voyus as well, but I'm not sure.
Karyevich, yeah.
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 2.
Marshall, Maneuver both make a lot of sense for him.
All right, I place 3, so I have 3 more.
And his extra dots, his last 2 dots, can go over 2.
Yeah.
If you intend to do that.
Yeah, I'm thinking I've placed 1, 2, 3, 4, but 2 more. Anything you guys really want to see raised up to 3? Because if I can, I want to. Like 3 is pretty sweet. Got 3 skirmish. I'm thinking 3 Marshall. Oh, sorry, 3 maneuver. But I could also do 3 in Marshall, which would be good for leading rookies, or 3 in Scout or Anchor. Ooh,
I was gonna say Anchor's not a bad one.
Yeah.
Scout's a little weird for heavies just because they are usually in heavy armor, so they take penalties and less effect anyway.
Yeah.
But maybe you're playing a heavy with Panther like Grayson doesn't wear armor. I don't know. That's up to you.
No, you described him big old heavy armor with that. Cool,
I was expecting like a big old knight who's wise in the ways of war.
Yeah.
who's fought and been betrayed and himself had to make tough choices and tried
Right,
to
there
have
we
a
go.
retirement in a village.
It looks like this: Anchor 3, Scout 1, Rec 1, Skirmish 3, Maneuver 1, Marshall 1. Yeah, I mean, I'd love to put a little more in Marshall, but I'm gonna call that good.
All right, what's his power?
Weapon Master.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, come on, Kingfisher. He's got to have been named that for a reason.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know that.
It's perfect. It's
best
perfect.
power, but I think it's the one to fit the character.
It's an amazing power. Actually, all the heavy powers are good. I can't really argue there. They're tough and awesome. But if you're team working, Bulwark is also, or not Bulwark. What's the protecty one?
Yeah, Bulwark. You can spend armor as special armor to defend consequence against a squad you're defending. You know what? Actually, that's really good.
Or backup. Backup is also amazing because it allows people to push for 1. It basically changes like the stress economy. It's kind of
It's really good, but since I raised anchor so high, using bulwark really makes a lot of sense.
It's up to you.
Oh, so
I mean, you would still have it for like 3 attacks. Like, it's not a bad thing to just use. Anchor is great to use on its own.
Yeah.
But this just saves everyone under your protection.
I know, which is huge if we're going to
Oh,
go
it's
up
going to
against...
be. Oh, God, it's going to be. You have
right.
no idea.
All right, I'm doing it. I'm doing bulwark. I think bulwark is also very fitting.
Awesome.
All right,
So,
bulwark is my best. It's a hard choice.
Before we do the roll, I just want to know what people think about a mission that sends 7 people, including the 2 heavies, which are like the Legion's first wall of defense against impossible odds, right? What does everybody on this mission think about sending 7 people to retrieve 1 human?
Are you asking us as players, or are you asking our characters?
I'm asking about the characters. As players, I mean, clearly you folks chose the mission. If you didn't care, it wouldn't matter. I'm curious what the people on the mission are thinking, though, right?
Oh, I don't like it. Okay. This is a tremendous amount of resources going in to save what, in my view, is not an equivalent resource.
Right.
Voyas feels like he doesn't have a say because they just sent 7 people to recover 1 person last mission. So he's like, I guess this is what they do. Like, they spend a lot to get a little. Okay. Can't really critique it.
Matali is this is the job. This is what we do, right? This is what we do.
Our own behind.
All right.
We've done tons of rescue missions with 1 person. That's the really amusing part.
Okay. Sounds good. That is actually an interesting point. Like, Voyas was a rescue mission for 1 person. It's just that in this case, the person is a rookie instead of a legendary heavy.
Yeah, right.
Well, no, our first mission was rescuing the commander, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Does anybody talk about this? Is this discussed, or do you folks just fucking march?
I don't talk about it. I mean, I'm not hiding it, but I'm not sowing any seeds or anything.
Yeah.
And I think Matali is, if it comes up, he's all about squashing the seeds. This is the job. We're on the clock. Let's do this thing.
I think Voyas will ask, so this is what we do?
This is what we do. This is the job.
He kind of looks back at the camp before we leave and sees how few people there are and looks at the smoke and the various horizons and things like that. And it's like, okay, this is what we do.
I would like to point out that this mission goes against one of the values that I defined as the Legion holding, which I haven't told you guys about yet. But
how are we supposed to know?
Well, that's the thing. It's what the Legion has been about. It doesn't mean what we're necessarily about right this moment, but one of them is stronger together, which was how I brought in the nobody eats alone thing. And the other one is I may die, but the Legion lives on.
Okay.
But I guess we're just being stubborn about that.
It's a very Zimiati trait, is all I can say.
Nobody's dying.
Yeah. Voyas did not take loyal, though I love that ability. I took bold and tough, which both felt very Voyas to me.
Awesome. So I'm gonna give you the opening shot, right? It's the town that you're coming up on. Is called Leinsburg, and it was a very small town because the Long Road doesn't actually have a lot of settlement communities by it. It's actually kind of in the northeast of the Long Road, and it used to have a population close to 1,200 people, but at this point, it's probably sub 100.
Josh, I want to stop you for a second because we forgot this last time. We should all pick our load.
Yeah.
Yes. You should. I'm gonna be quiet until everybody's load is done.
I just realized
before you finish doing gear, just real quick, are you spending? Wait, this is a recon mission. Are you spending horses?
Nope.
Okay, excellent. Carry on.
This mission gets nothing.
Are you spending anything else? Are you spending any black shot or anything? I'm just curious. No? Okay.
I'm sending black shot on the secondary.
That makes perfect sense.
All right, I just want it pointed out that on a scouting mission, if anybody is a heavy load, we take -1d.
You're already expecting bad rolls with no horses and not placing a specialist.
No.
I just want to point out that I think we're rolling 0D no matter what. So I don't.
Just saying. You can do what you want with that information. Just letting you know.
Let's see what we get. What are you thinking, Jay? Are you thinking going heavy, or are you thinking?
I was, but since there are two of us, I think we could both go normal and still be super effective.
I mean, what we lose is a fine wrecking kit, which could very well be helpful if we need to like blow something up in this town. We're going into a town,
Right,
and a
fair.
tower shield, which can be used to protect other people.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, I mean, we could split it. I'm thinking going heavy.
Okay.
Who has the high maneuver?
I only have one.
I have one.
Okay.
So if we both go heavy, is it -2 or is it?
No, it's -1 regardless.
Yeah.
But
so if you go heavy, there's no reason why I should.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, except for that in play, it could affect us as well.
Right.
Yeah, if you have to do sprints or change position rapidly, it'll definitely give you less effect and stuff like that.
Yeah. But if I'm doing bulwark, having the tower shield makes a lot of sense.
That's true.
What is the this crazy weapon on the chain that that the Kingfisher has as part of his armor?
It's a Morning Star with an automated winch that he has a trigger in his shoulder that he actually knows how to like retract it. So it's actually just like a heavy ball on a chain that runs into this like circular wind. So he can actually like throw it at something or wrap it around a thing and then just like pull it back, right?
So is that fair to call that a fine hand weapon then?
Yeah.
Thing?
The Orite technology makes it a hand weapon as opposed to a heavy weapon. But it will count as like a 50-pound ball hitting things. Like it's not trivial.
Yeah, no, I did not think it would be trivial. Cool.
All right, I will go normal if you're going heavy. That way I can move if I need to, or if we need to.
Now, we were told to bring medical supplies, lenses.
I can bring a medic kit.
Okay.
With 3 uses, but I need to decide between tents and camping gear or cooking kit and fresh food.
Ignacio has cooking kit and fresh food already selected. So if you like tents and camping gear,
I will do that.
Cool. All right, I'll bring lenses.
Yeah, it's like I do not seem to have access to lenses.
You can put them on. Anybody can have them.
I'm also going to pick a climbing kit because those always come in handy.
Oh, that's a really good point. Climbing kits are very smart. And Strauss, you also said things to like wash away chemical burns.
Yeah.
Like that. Is that what you consider medical supplies, or is that supplies?
Supplies will do it.
All right.
You just say like, yeah, we bring like extra water and stuff like that.
All right. So I'm bringing lenses and supplies.
All right. Sounds good.
I've got a wrecking kit. I haven't made the second choice yet.
I have a fine wrecking kit as part of the heavy load.
Yeah, your heavy load for the heavy just grants you a wrecking kit, so you don't need to specify an extra wrecking kit.
Okay.
You can take a medic kit, I think, or you can bring like, I don't know, extra weapons and or armor. I don't know. Ooh, a repair kit might be cool, but you'll have to convince the quartermaster to give you one.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't have a repair.
Yeah, it's not on your list normally. It goes in one of the blank lines.
No, it's fair.
Yeah, you can add it. I think the stingy quartermaster.
All right, done. Adding it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, think of all the stuff we're bringing with us on this mission. If we fail the mission and don't come back, all the stuff doesn't come back with us.
Exactly. Right. No, right. This is a bad mission to go on. That's the thing. There's no ifs, ands, or buts.
I was going to take a reliquary.
Smart.
Just having one of those, I get a weird feeling about this kind of.
Super smart.
So I'm going to just like.
Super smart.
I'll take the reliquary. Especially since we already got a blighted dude with us.
Oh yeah, let me mark Voice's blight. Strash, I think you said you had his blight condition.
Yeah.
What is it?
1 second. Have it on this. I was 100% prepared last time, and now you're like blight conditions. I was like, I put them on the new sheets. I think.
Fine. You don't have to. I mean, they are on the new PDFs, yeah. But if you don't,
I just need to 1 second. Let me. This is where John would jokingly say, it would be great if there's a bookmark for these. It would be visions.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. He still is haunted. Okay, I'm putting in the notes.
Awesome.
And I marked that he has a blight.
Awesome. Okay. So yeah, I'm just gonna give you the opening shot, and then we'll make the 0D engagement roll here.
Yeah.
So as you folks come up on this town, if we go back to the main map for just a second, which I will control here, the town that you're looking at is actually like closer to here, where I'm pinging with the red. And so it's in the sort of the foothills, heading up towards the mountains. It's sort of like near the edge of Duresh Forest. And as you head over a hill, you see this town sort of like in a valley with like a little stream running through it for fresh water. It actually has some like defensible like walls arranged, but it is basically like shattered. Like it looks the equivalent of having come under like siege weapon fire, which is weird. As far as you folks know, the undead generally don't use siege weaponry. The last time there was supposed to be like a city siege, the fucking Cinder King walked up to the gates and lit them on fire. So like you're not 100% sure exactly what did this or where the placement was. You can make some guesses based on like trajectories and angles. But like buildings are blown out and shattered. You've got that whole like 3/4 of a building gone, but like certain like load-bearing walls are still up. A lot of the windows and stuff are shattered. You can kind of see through them. It looks like some sections of the walls are down, like something really, really massive hit them. And most interestingly, there is actually they took a building and they've created kind of like a platform in the center of town, and you see a thing on it. It's like easily 14 feet tall. It's got a metal cone instead of a face, and like blades coming out of like the back of it, and like huge gorilla arm looking things. It's like a huge horror.
Jay is just dying.
And yeah, like as you folks are like heading into town, there's like smoke and stuff, and you do occasionally hear the like pop 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 of like rifle fire, right? So like there is some sounds of fighting still in town, which means that all resistance has not been squashed. Everybody is not dead, right? There's sections of the town that are like inset in the valley that have this like weird greenish smoke mist in them. It's like super hard to like figure out what the hell is going on there. And yeah, like I said, that's the sort of like scene that you're coming into, right? Like city walls, city perimeter. Like you see like actually that the city sprawls further out than the walls, but like the outside of the city is pretty wrecked. And yeah, like there's smoke and green mist, and it's just kind of like this grayish green hellscape that you folks are marching straight into.
Right. Yeah, I was to say it sort of sounds like a lot of like Running Man sort of like look over the wasted city view.
Yep. So let's make that engagement roll.
Who's doing that?
That would be the marshal.
Yeah, that's me.
All right, so
she's looking.
Instructing this bad boy. Are all on the mission to the Legion?
Yeah.
Commander, did we spend any intel?
It's not worth it, Jay. You're still at 0.
Yeah.
No.
Is everybody a specialist or soldier?
No.
Does anybody distrust or not fear the leadership enough to obey orders on the battlefield?
That was actually something that I was asking earlier indirectly by seeing how people feel about this mission, but it sounds like everyone's cool.
Are required specialists or equipment not on the mission?
They are not on the mission.
Quartermaster, did you send us horses?
Nope.
Is anybody starting with a heavy load?
Yep.
Can you have negative dice?
Nope.
You theoretically can, but the rules for 0 or negative dice are always the same. If you have 0 or less dice, you still roll to take the worst. There is no getting worse than
right. That's why I was like, if we're at 0 dice, might as well bring extra gear.
All right, here we go. 1 fortune roll with 0 dice coming up. If I can find the spot. There it is.
What? We're the Ravens.
Yeah, we're the Ravens. We laugh in the face of death.
Fam, believe. You could roll 2 6s and get a 6 anyway. It has happened. Right.
Yeah, but I know our rolls.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen. But that's okay. We're gonna believe. We have to believe real hard. We can do this.
We will laugh in the face of death.
That's right.
Holy
that's a 1.
We are in a desperate position when the action starts.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you are.
So close.
I think there's a moment. So you folks get into town and you're headed towards where the last signal flare from Crimson was spotted.
Can I ask you one clarifying thing? You said that there was this giant horror with an abomination. Was it doing anything? Like when we were looking through lenses?
On a platform, and every once in a while it faces a direction and it makes this metallic vibrating roar, like a sound out of that like weird conical shape. Like you do.
Yeah, like you do.
Like you do. Yeah. Totally thing.
Cool.
Cool. Yeah. I'm gonna guess that's the source of all this these buildings exploding.
You folks get into town, right? And you're moving. I assume, like, you're not making scout rolls per se. Yeah, don't worry about this. But like, you're moving like semi-stealthily, right? Like building to building, making sure you're in cover. Don't stand in line of sight of the giant beast of death. That thing.
That sounds about right.
And there's this point where you hear the voice of a man speaking Aldermani. So who in the squad speaks Aldermani again?
I think voice has been around for a long time. I imagine
multiple people can do it.
Yeah, but I imagine he's at least familiar. He probably speaks it with a big accent, but I bet he can understand most Aldermani.
Awesome. So there is a man walking along with a small squad of rotters around him. It's just walking up a path, and you folks get into position where you can kind of see this. Like it's moving towards you, but like you can reposition and do other stuff here in a second. And he's speaking in Aldermani, and he's dressed in very nice clothes. He's got like a black shirt and a fine red silk cravat, and he's walking with a rope over one shoulder, and attached to that rope is Crimson Rising, who's in what looks like it's called a pillory. It's like a wooden apparatus that like locks his arms into place so that he's being yanked along. And this man is announcing to everyone. He says that the war may be lost for some people, but if you are smart, the greatest of the broken, Blighter, accepts the living. She will protect you. She will give you great goods. In this time of great need and problems, she will feed you. She will treat you well. Just look at him. All you have to do is kneel. And he's talking about how nobody can save you. Look at this man from the Fabled Legion, and he like jerks the rope, and Crimson stumbles and everything. And he's like, he tried to protect some innocent. He failed. Obey Blighter. Like, just come to the side. If you just reveal yourself and come out, everything will be fine. So yeah, that's the scene you see.
Nice. And is there anything about him that's visible that would explain why the Rotters aren't, I don't know, eating him or Crimson or anybody else?
Nope.
Okay.
Well, you do know this. You do know that undead can be commanded to do virtually anything. If you tell them to dig, they will dig, as long as you have like obedience. So whatever it is, remember that you've also seen undead obey the Black Oak Knights. And from your research, you've discovered that it isn't a supernatural power granted to them. It's just that if Render looks at those undead and says, you will obey any order given to you by these Black Oak Knights, the hounds will try and do the best they can. So you're assuming that some sort of authority has been transferred to this man and the exact same fashion that was transferred to the Black Oak Knights. I don't think that's a role that you've already researched this, so I think it's just information.
Cool. Awesome. All right.
Is there any reason we can't shoot him in the head, sir?
I know, I was just thinking that.
How many Rotters are around him?
It's a standard base unit deployment. They have 2d6.
All right. Zainova's
Well, actually, it's let's say 5 plus a d6 here. So there's like 10 of them, yeah, and they're shambling along doing the like, ooh, usual Rotter stuff. This looks pretty easy. A squad can mow these guys down in like pretty much like one round of black shot fire.
This looks pretty easy, said the GM, as we're about to get into a desperate situation.
Yeah.
Like GMs do.
I mean,
it's really funny. I told John that I have a secret victory condition if somebody says a thing during the stream, but we'll see if you folks you're kind of picking up on it here. We'll roll with this.
Or tell me the odds.
Yeah. Voyas is kind of looking at them, like doing the mental count, and he looks to Matali like, "That's our guy, right?" Like, what are we waiting for, right? Like, I mean, he's been through a lot of battles, but I don't think any of us know what the trap is. So
right,
and that's what flashbacks are for, right? So
yes.
Right? I mean, I say we go get our dude.
Cool.
But I'm not commander, so I'm just looking to our commander.
Matali, what's the play?
Matali's the commander?
Tally's the commander.
Tally's the commander.
Oh, wow. All right.
No officers.
Get our dude. Yeah, I think we go get our guy back.
Awesome.
Right. And we're gonna do that by murdering a bunch of Rotters, chopping off the head of that betrayer, and taking him back, right?
Right.
Cool.
That's it. Because I'm assuming we don't really want to mess with the Conehead thing.
No, and the Conehead thing isn't like right here. It's like the fuck over there, like hundreds and hundreds of yards away. Like it can theoretically see this area, but it's not close. Like even if it deployed immediately, it's not going to just be here next round.
But I do have an idea occurs to me actually, is that all of these buildings are like, a lot of these buildings are wrecked.
Yeah,
so
half blown out, partial walls, all that stuff.
So like if a wall were to fall down, that might not actually be that weird.
You mean if a wall were to fall down on this guy?
If a wall were to fall down on this guy and a bunch of, say, Rotters.
Right, I like it.
That might not be a bad idea. And like we have the gear to make that happen.
Right, to make that happen. And it may not seem out of place.
And it may not seem that out of place. And then we can maybe like, so I'm gonna be like, crowbar, anyway. So
I like it.
So you folks are gonna prepare to wreck.
Yeah.
Right.
And then you're gonna like, I'm guessing it's wreck. You folks tell me the action.
That's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
And then you're just gonna drop a chunk of wall, squish a bunch of Rotters.
Right.
Jump in, clean up whatever's left over, murder the guy if he's not dead already.
Right. Get our guy back.
I think the only condition would be try not to kill Crimson with the wall.
Well, that means that the guy's probably not dead because the guy is like literally like 5 feet from him with that rope. Trying to aim falling walls that close is but it'll break their flank for sure. There's a bunch of undead.
Hey, it's a fine wrecking kit, Strive.
Yeah, cool. So you're making a desperate roll.
Yeah.
And I'll explain to you. Like, it's not clear why it's desperate. This should be fucking controlled. So you'll understand why it's desperate in a hot minute. But
I know, we're going to find out why it's desperate when we roll.
Oh, I know why it's desperate.
Well, for one thing, I'm going to tell you one tiny piece of information which seems largely insignificant right now, which is that Crimson is gagged. Nothing too ornate. He just has like a little like thing on his face.
Oh, okay.
It's not like complicated. He's not wearing like a hood or anything. It's just a gag.
Right. I'm sure he would be telling us, "Run away! It's a trap." But
so let's do a group desperate wreck. Nothing can go wrong here. It'll be fine.
Who wants to be in on it?
Matali could be in on it.
Yeah, I think it's the heavies. I think you two are the only ones with wrecking kits.
Yeah.
If Commander, permission to post up with a musket to take a shot if necessary.
I think that sounds good. I think it works.
All right, Jay, you want me to lead this?
Yeah, and I will. There it is. This is my wreck. Yeah, because I've got 1 dot in wreck.
Yeah, same here.
Okay. Yeah.
But it still seems more like, I don't know. I like it anyway. Strush, do you have a devil's bargain by chance?
Do I have a devil's bargain? Dear God. Yeah, this is just gonna make a bunch of noise.
All right. Yeah. I'm down with that.
Wasn't it going to do that anyway?
Yeah, I was like, we're about to drop
it was well, the established fact is Sean was like, look, a chunk of rock falling down and squishing a couple people isn't going to attract a ton of attention.
Fair enough. Yeah.
It could get away not being too noticeable. And I'm like, no, this is 100% noticeable.
Okay.
Yeah, right. We're gonna draw attention.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
I'll take it.
There'll just be a guaranteed consequence.
Yeah. Guaranteed consequence of them noticing, right? That's I'm all over that.
Someone noticing.
Right. Cool. Well, and also my thing is like noticing and assuming it's us, I think is going to depend on the role too. Like
absolutely.
Absolutely. What's our effect here?
Standard.
Cool.
Well, actually, I'm going to call it limited, and the reason I'm calling it limited is you're going to squish some undead and open up a flank. Yeah. That's what the standard effect is here, but you're not going to like kill all the undead and get the guy and get your guy loose, right? Like there's too many steps there, so it's limited in that sense.
Yeah, and I don't, even if we like were to try and push to raise it to more effect, I don't see that even making sense. Like I feel
really.
Like that's within the scope of the action that we're doing.
But you could explain it to me. I have been many times surprised by players, and
I mean, I have an idea, which is that we push it down so that the window is right where Crimson is. And
that's don't roll a 4 to 5. All right.
But I think that's playing with fire there.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I got 5.
So you do it, but there's a consequence. Okay, that's not terrible.
Let's see what that is some Buster Keaton shit.
Is Jay rolling or is it just one roll?
No, Jay's rolling.
Was an internet hiccup. So all right, here it goes. I've only have 1 dot in wreck. I was trying to figure out if I was going to stress myself or not.
Nah, I got it. I mean, theoretically, you should pick this before I roll, but like, I mean, if you give me a stress, it's better than you taking 2 stress, and it's only, I guess more dice is better chance of rolling, but it's fine. Just roll your die. Get a 6.
Roll your die.
What a 6 chance. It's not that bad. Look at that.
Yes!
There you go.
Look at that. Matali fucking nails it.
There you go.
So the wall, this desperate situation happens. This wall falls. It creates this like echoing sound, right? And the Aldermani man in the fine dress gives out this yell. He's clearly not some ice-blooded badass warrior. He looks like citizenry, right? Like he's not. And sure enough, the Rotters actually collapse around him as if to protect him. And he jerks on the rope. And Crimson looks up and kind of spots like a couple of Legionnaires like in the windows and everything. And, he starts making the like noise, but it doesn't he looks very panicked.
It doesn't mean anything to us.
Yeah, no.
Crimson being panicked seems natural for the situation.
Yeah. So like you squash more than half the squad. There's like maybe four Rotters left, let's say, or five. Let's say five, because five is like a small unit, right?
Right.
And they collapse in, and they're largely protecting the civvy.
Right.
And Crimson's like on the outside of that pack, being jerked along by the rope.
So we could cut that rope and run off with Crimson right now, right? Like.
Yeah. I mean, you're gonna have to get down there, cross the road, engage with these guys. But yes.
Yeah. Right. We have to run down there, but like.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. I mean, no sense in waiting.
That's right. This is what we do. This is what we came for.
Right. Jan or Misha, are either of you are either? I always know the specialist names, but I forget the.
Indigo is the rookie.
Indigo and
Ignacio.
Ignacio. Indigo and Ignacio. Okay. Yeah. Anybody want to? I mean, I'm happy to go as well, but we were pushing it. Anyone want to run down, or we all run down together?
Yeah, Matali's in.
I think I'm going to remain in a position that is advantageous for me to scout in, because I have 2 dots in scout, and that seems helpful in this situation.
Cool.
I'm gonna go ahead and take the shot that I was like preparing for.
Yeah. Okay. So what do we do? How do we want to do this? Do you want to do like spend a stress in just the system saying that you're shooting, and then they make the maneuver roll because you've got cover fire? Do you want to make a shoot to try and kill a couple of the undead? Like, how do you want to do this?
I was actually planning on aiming at the dude with the.
Okay. So you're spending regular ammo and you want to shoot the dude. Yeah. All right. Yeah, you should totally shoot the dude.
Can we both do that?
Yeah.
I like the idea of us both shooting at this.
If it's a group action, just tell me who's leading.
He's murderized.
Yeah. And you can never really do 2 things at once, but I think fictionally, as they're doing that, Moltali and Boyas are moving in,
right,
to kind of grab Crimson.
Misha, if you want, I can lead because I don't have any stress at all. So.
Yeah, sure. Because I have 3 stress. So yeah.
Yeah, I'll take it then. That's fine.
Cool.
All right. I only have 1 die in shoot, but
same here. So.
That's fine. Is this?
Just be like roll 6s and you're good.
Yeah, no problem at all. Is this desperate still?
Yeah, feel free to mark XP. Don't forget.
Oh, that's right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Just roll 6s. Nothing bad can happen.
See, now I don't want to roll the dice.
Oh, always roll the dice because it only gets more interesting, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Standard effect.
Yeah, standard effect. You're gonna murder this guy. Bullets do that.
Bullets murder people.
This guy's alive. That's miss, but that's 1 stress.
I got a 5.
Rad. So you fire and the guy dies. Like you just get you get the item. And there's this moment, like, right, so like the heavies are like jumping down, they're getting ready to engage with the like remaining 5 Rotters, which should not be any problem at all. And this weird thing happens where a red flare goes off. And in particular, what it does is it has like a sequence of pulses. Now, when you folks use your flare guns, they have like multiple rings and you adjust them very quickly and then you fire them off at some like alchemical charge. And it's almost exactly like a Legion flare. And the only Legionnaire here that you know of is Crimson. But the flare that goes up in Legion speak would say, enemy engaged position here.
Well, that seems real bad.
Nothing else happens. That's the consequence of your 4 to 5.
Yeah, enemy engaged position here, and where is here? Is here where we are, or is here somewhere else?
It 100% points you out. It like literally goes up right above where your position would be.
Right.
Like someone's like shooting it from like a little ways off, like from some of the like broken buildings. But yeah, it just and it like parts
So
where you guys are.
we know that there are dudes coming our way immediately.
Not dudes, the big building knocking over monster.
Some threat.
All right, some threat.
So we better get Crimson and run fast then.
Yeah, awesome.
I mean, that seems like that story checks out.
Yeah.
Cool. So Matali and
Voyus,
you're jumping down. You're going over. Do you just want to make a skirmish roll to like murderize all of the?
I think so. Yeah, just plow through them. I'll lead it unless you want to. Matali's got some stress, I think.
I do have some stress.
Yeah.
I can lead it. Yeah.
No, I was just saying I can do it so that you don't have to take stress.
Okay.
All right. What's our position for this skirmish roll?
Desperate.
No, actually, it's just risky.
Yeah.
The desperate's already happened.
Oh, great.
That was a one-time thing.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, at Stars, theoretically, we could try and resist that, but I just don't feel like we know what we need.
If you understand what you're resisting and you could tell me what you're doing, I would 100% allow.
Yeah. Cool. Risky standard. We plow through all the.
Yeah.
We plow through all the rotters.
Your two heavies going up against rotters. I'm gonna say it's actually controlled standard.
I actually think I have a way of resisting that.
The desperate.
Yeah.
We should have a flare signal that means belay that order.
Yeah, you do. But I believe the only people that can equip flares on missions are officers and heavies.
Never mind.
Yeah, I have equipped a flare gun.
Actually, Misha, if you wanna flashback and say like, look, I'm going to flashback and say that I brought a flare gun. What would it cost to get from the quartermaster? I might be like, well, your quartermaster is extra stingy. It doesn't send any resources on these missions. So it's probably going to be like a 1 or 2 stress flashback, but you can have one.
Right. But both your heavies have flare guns on them.
Right.
If you want to have just asked for it before.
I was going to say, or Misha, depending upon how close you are, because like it's reasonable that either that or just shout at them to say, send the cancel flare, right? Like
sure. Yeah, let's go with that option. Tell them to belay the order.
Awesome.
Does one of the heavies want to resist this? It's an insight resist.
Yeah, I will do it.
Okay, cool.
Unless you think you and I have 1 die in insight.
I have 3 in insight because of bold, plus 1d and resist on desperate actions.
Woo. It's true.
So I'm
you are uniquely suited to do this task.
All right, yeah, I'm gonna do it. And Voice like sort of looks to you like, which color is it? Sure, this one, right? Because he's not
click, 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 click.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. This doesn't make any mechanical sense. But Misha, if you wanted to spend a stress to give me an assist on this, you could. It's like you spending stress so that I don't spend stress, which I don't think really makes sense. But I think just saying it is fine. But if you wanted to be involved, that I think I should just roll it. I'm gonna. Yeah. I don't know. Oof. All right.
Oh, 3 stress.
A lot of fidgeting there.
Cool. So yeah, you fire, the yellow cancel flare. And you hear the blah from the center of town, but nothing immediately happens.
Okay. Rad. Good call. Yeah, Voice is very concerned that it took him too long. He doesn't know whether it worked.
Right.
I think that's what causes him so much stress. Is like,
well, it's also you've only been in the Legion for like a
5 minutes.
Exactly.
So like this is the first time you're using Legion signals, right? And someone's yelling at you like, send the cancel, and you're like, what's the cancel? And they like gave me like 5-minute tutorial on this thing.
Exactly. That's perfect. I love it. Awesome. Oh, but now we can go murder those blighters. So let's go do that.
Oh yeah, this is controlled. Like those things are not even a threat to you. You're covered in heavy armor.
Yeah.
You're basically the only thing that's going to become risky is if you take too long and or if your guy gets hurt. Like the risk isn't to you. You're on heavy plate and they've got like teeth and claws. Like they're not even
right. We're gonna swap them. Okay, but I changed my mind on this. Jay, Matali, will you lead?
Yes, I will.
Cool.
I got this.
I believe in you.
All right, let's roll our controlled standard.
Oh.
Woof.
Oh.
You're stressing yourself out.
I gotcha. Well,
no problem. So here's the thing. You're gonna do it, but you're gonna end up in a risky position. Is that cool?
Can I say no to that?
Yeah, you could resist it somehow. You could just tell me how the fuck you get this done so fast. Yeah, you could resist this. This is a straight up prowess resist. You could just like explain how physically you're resisting, like taking time and or anyone being hurt.
I'm a war machine. This is what I was. This is what I do.
Did you push?
Say it again.
Did you push?
I did not push.
It's okay, but you are a war machine. That is a true statement of fact. Okay.
Yes.
Awesome. So yeah, you're just like what? You're just going to town.
That's right. Yes.
You'll bash it. Yeah. All right. Give me a prowess resist.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. There
double check. Is Matali Barton?
Yes, he is.
Does he have the Barton +1 to prowess resist trait? That's I don't know off the top of my head.
Stoic,
yes.
Yeah.
So you'll get +1d automatically. So just roll prowess resist, but remember to add the extra die.
If you click on prowess, it'll do the resist for you.
All right.
Oh, will it?
Yeah, prowess does. That's how I.
So what's your prowess resist normally?
It's 3.
So then just roll an extra d6. Do /roll +1d6 or /roll 1d6, and it's fine. We'll add it to that.
Ask you to.
Oops.
So close.
I
think it's /roll.
Oh, /roll. Sorry about that.
Yeah, just slash in the wrong place. That's all good.
Yeah.
There it is. Woo.
Okay.
Awesome. So it only costs you 1 stress, and there's no consequence at the moment.
Yeah.
So yeah, you just smash through these guys like super fast, and you grab Crimson Rising, who's still making the noises.
Yeah.
Right.
What do you folks do?
Fireman carry. I just throw him up on the side, and it's time to go. Oh.
Heavy armor. Awesome.
Crimson is, if it's a fireman carry, he's facing behind you. Yeah, it's fine. I was gonna say I tried to pull out his gag, but I don't.
That's fine. You can do it.
Yeah.
You can like hold for 1 second and just like and it goes flying into pieces or whatever, dramatically.
And I say, shh, this is a rescue mission.
And he goes, no, they're already flanking you. This is a trap, and we should take a break.
Yep.
Dig it. Dig it. All right, let's see if Sean can do the thing where I do the thing smart. I can do the thing. Well, my machine is being super frozen up, so that's good. All right. See you all in a few.